Let's talk about the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic and the Huawei Watch GT3. Now, I like both of these watches, but of course, I have to be honest and say my favorite is the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. Now, I already know most people in this country is not going to even consider this Huawei watch. Why? Probably the number one reason, Google services. So there's no Google services on the Huawei Watch GT3. None. But even in that, that does not mean this is not a great watch, because it is. Okay? And it's destroying the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic in one important area that I believe is important to everybody. At least I believe it is, because when I, go on YouTube and I see all the, a lot of times they have, content creators put out this poll about what's the most important thing to you when it comes to a smartwatch or, or yes, or a smartphone. And the number one thing people always pick is battery. So when it comes to battery life, this Huawei watch is completely obliterating the Watch 4 Classic. What do you mean by that? Okay, what I mean by that, full force, getting all my notifications and in real time, everything, the screen set at 100% brightness, always on display on all the time, I could get 15 days of battery life. You heard me, 15 days. You only getting a day and a half at the most with this, maybe 2 days if you got the always on display off. Now with the always on display on, I'm getting like, I can get into the next day. So maybe I could squeeze out a day and a half if I don't get too many notifications. But I'm using the always on display on full brightness. I got the screen on full brightness. Most times this is good just for a full day for me, or average, just a full day. Literally 15 days with this, with the always on display on. Now, with the always on display off, I'm getting 30 days. So Samsung need to talk or steal some technology or whatever from Huawei, so they can, have these watches have better battery life, because this is crazy. I mean, that's the most important thing to most people is battery life. Like, what good is a smartwatch if the thing is dead? You don't get your notifications and all that. What good is it if it's dead? But literally, you can go 15 days. Now, I'm talking with the always on display on. 15 days without even thinking about the battery on this watch. And then for most people, some people don't want the always on display on. They want it off. 30 days. That's crazy. But it's true. I've already tested it. So, like I said, this is a great watch. Also, now, when it comes to, basically both watches, they're both got beautiful AMOLED displays. They both get adequately bright. But when it comes to software, Galaxy is going to be better because it's using Google Wear or Wear. Yeah, Google Wear. So Google Services is running this watch. And on here, you got Harmony OS, which is not a bad OS. Now, both have excellent build quality. This one's a little tiny, little heavier. But what makes this stand out too, the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic, is the rotating bezel. That's the biggest thing for me on here is this. I love this rotating bezel. Now, I hated that when Samsung actually took it away, I think with the Watch 5. Yeah, with the Watch 5, they took the rotating bezel away, but they brought it back with the 6. But I got the 4 here. I love this rotating bezel. It's probably the my favorite feature on this device altogether. Now with this one, of course, you got this little crown here, which you can press, and you can control, scrolling through your notifications. You can use it for that, which is cool. You press this button underneath, it'll bring up your notifications, which is nice. And you just, you could either use the dial to move, or you could actually swipe it with your finger. Like I said, both got really nice displays. But I will say this: you're going to get better watch faces on here. They offer way more. Now I think the reason why the watch faces on here are so limited, and I really don't like the majority of them. Honestly, they pretty look like crap for the most part. I think because this is not paired with a Huawei smartphone. I think if I had a Huawei smartphone, this probably would offer me way more watch faces. So that's a down. That's a downer too. So Harmony OS is really not a big problem for me, but the watch faces are a big problem. And the number one problem I have with this phone, I mean with this watch, is notifications. Now you may say you just said that you get all your notifications in real time. I do. But let me show you what the biggest problem is. I'm going to swipe up. See that right there? I'm going to click on it. You see how small that is? I mean, it's bright, but it's really small. The font size is very small, and you can't make it any bigger than this. I don't like that. Okay, and then at the top, if you see it look like a message icon, most of the time you won't get the actual icon of the app that you're getting the notification from. I don't like that either. Like, why can't I get now with Instagram? They actually give you the actual icon, which is cool, but that's rare. That's rare. Most of the time, I get the same icon where it's like look like I got a text message. Now, let me show you the font size on this. I'm not gonna get into all the specs and all that really. Look how much bigger that is. Now, for me, that's important because I'm an older man, 55 years old. So my eyes ain't what they used to be. But look how much bigger that is. That is so much bigger than this. It's not even close. Look at that. This is much easier to read. This one I really got to strain my eyes to see sometime. Now, if you're somebody that's young, it's not going to bother you at all because this font size is going to be fine. But for me, it's just too small. And you should be able to make it bigger than that. That's just too small for me. Now, if I was probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 years younger, wouldn't be an issue. I mean, I can see it, but sometimes I got to strain to see it, depending on the notification. But with the Galaxy, I have zero issue, with the font size because it's pretty big and I can see everything very, very easily. I will say this for the GT3, you do get a really nice presentation, much nicer than the Galaxy. Much, much nicer, very elegant. This is absolute crap. Seriously, this is crap. Just a long white box with just, the the watch and the chart and the charging cable. This is crap. Seriously. That's garbage. Samsung used to give you better boxes and better presentation with their devices all together, and now they've gone so cheap till they don't even care about presentation anymore. That's why I had a video where I talked about why I use different manufacturers, because you're going to get a different experience. What Samsung is resting on their laurels, thinking they just don't have to do anything. They could do the very minimum, and people are still going to buy their devices. And the reason why people still buy their devices is because they just don't care. Now, I care. Now, if I'm going to buy a Samsung device, it's going to be for a very dirt cheap price. I will never give them money, the retail, the regular retail value for their devices. I will never do it, never again, because they don't earn it. Like, I would be willing to pay a little bit more for this because they give you such a nice presentation. Sometimes I've had Huawei watches in the past where they give you extra straps. You get the charging cable. It's just a really nice presentation altogether. Make you feel like you just bought an expensive watch as opposed to this garbage. That's why I like using Vivo and Xiaomi and different companies, because they actually give you an unboxing experience. They make you feel like you matter to them. But back to this. Both of these are IP68 water dust resistant. Like I said, both are great devices. But for me, the rotating bezel, the larger font size, that's the main thing. that I like about this watch better. And also, let me say this about Huawei. This is a great watch. Now, when it comes to the health app, both of these devices have health apps. You got Samsung Health with this one. You got the Harmony OS health app. But this one is so much more detailed and comprehensive. I mean, let me show you real quick. I mean, seriously, it's so detailed. Let me go back. There it is right there. You just got to download the Huawei thing, and you have all of these different things that have to do with your health. I mean, it's extremely detailed. I mean, a lot. I mean, there's just so much info. I mean, if you're really a health nut, like a serious health nut, this is the watch you actually want, because this watch, this app is going to give you everything you need to stay healthy. I mean, everything is super, super detailed. Seriously. And it's crazy how much information you can get. Look at this, is just my steps. Now, this is about a week. This is how many steps I took in a month. Oh, here it is. 24,516 average steps. Now, my average steps is actually more than that. It's usually over over 7,000 to 8,000. But I wear my Galaxy most of the time. Now, if I'm going to be somewhere where I'm not going to be coming home, because I usually charge this in the middle of the day. If I'm going to be somewhere where I'm going to be away all day and not going to come home, I'll wear this watch. Now, I want to wear this watch more, but like I said, the main thing for me is that I just can't see the notifications. I just can't see the notifications that easy. That's really my biggest issue. Using Harmony OS in itself is not a problem for me. I can live without Google on the watch. As long as I'm getting my notifications, that's all that matters. The speaker on here is definitely better than the Galaxy 4 Classic 2. So the speaker is better. The battery life, like I said, obliterates the Galaxy watch. And like I said, and I like this strap. It's a very good quality strap. Seriously, it's better. It's made a better quality than the one that they give you with the Watch 4 Classic, the white one. It's way better than that. Higher. Now I put this on here myself. I bought this. Now I will give this one another advantage too, is that you could add these bezel rings to it, because this didn't come with the Galaxy watch. It came, with silver underneath here, but you could put these bezels, stick them on here around this watch to give it even more pop, more flair, and that's what I did. And so I like that. That's something you can't do with the Huawei watch, mainly because just the way it's built. It's not built to put stuff around here like that. Now, as far as I know, they don't offer stuff like that for this watch. But with the Galaxy, you can buy all these different bezel rings and just put them on here and give your watch a different look and make it pop a lot more. But like I said, I love both of these, and I think this is a great watch, really. I really do. Let me see. I think, yeah, you hit this button right here, you bring up all your apps. As you can see, all your apps here, which is cool. Yeah, so that's cool. Now, with Galaxy, they do it a little different. You just basically swipe up and you get all your apps. So they do it a little different, but you can actually make this smaller and see all of them like that too. So it's cool. So like I said, I love both of these watches, but if the most important thing to you is your health and battery life, this is the one you really want, honestly. If it's battery life and health, you want this one. If it's not, then I say go with the Galaxy, because it does have Google Wear. You're just going to get, to me, a better experience when it comes to the software. The font size is going to be bigger. You're going to get better. What do you call it? Watch faces. Way more is going to be available to you. I think the software is just better overall. The software experience is just better. But like I said, this is not bad, but this is one that's just better. And all these widgets that you get. But like I said, when it comes to health, like I said, this is what you want right here. It's really nice. Seriously. This is really a great watch, and I enjoy both of them. But overall, this one is going to be better. The bezel, the software, And that, that's for some people that's the most important thing. And of course, it's Samsung. Huawei's banned in this country. That's why you don't have Google services. So people gonna, think that's, make that out to be a big deal. But if, let me say this, if I was forced to have to pick one, I would go with the Huawei. Now I'm saying I love this. I love the Samsung watch better in every, pretty much every aspect except the battery. Like I said, I would never have to worry about the battery with this watch at all. No battery anxiety at all. I get battery anxiety with the Galaxy 4 Classic. I do. Because I hate to have to charge it every night. Now, the reason why I say that, because I actually wear this watch when I go to sleep for sleep tracking, so I could see how I slept. Now, most people don't do that. They take their watch off and charge it. But I like to track, my sleeping patterns, how I slept, how well I slept. That's important to me. But if it wasn't for that, no, not a big deal. But like I said, battery life and the health, the health part of this watch that comes with it. Like I said, the speaker is so much louder on it. It's crazy loud. This watch here, man, 15 days with the always on display on, 30 days without it on. That's crazy. If the battery is the most important thing, you definitely want to go with this. But if not, go with the Samsung. All right. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there is staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.